Some new developments today in the murder of this 93-year-old Augusta woman, Joanne Johnson. The two teens charged in her murder appeared in court, where pleas of not guilty were entered for both. Fact Finder investigator Brandon Stitt has been following this case since the beginning. He's in Augusta with the very latest. Brandon.
It was 2 weeks ago today, two 14-year-old Augusta girls arrested for the brutal murder of Joanne Johnson. A murder that took police nearly a year to solve. This morning, the teens appeared by Zoom before a Butler County judge. The court identifying the teens by their initials, IH and AW, both charged with first-degree murder, entering not guilty pleas before the court. Earlier this week, a judge denying our request for the probable cause affidavit, saying in his order, disclosure of the affidavits has the potential to infringe on the party's right to a fair trial. If that case does go to trial, a state statute reads the teens can't be tried as adults. It's a statute that Joanne Johnson's family is now asking the Kansas Attorney General to clarify. This afternoon, the teens remain in custody in separate detention facilities. Another hearing is scheduled for October 31st, and what that hearing will entail is not yet known. In Augusta, Brandon Stitt, 12 News.